An aircraft does not fly because air simply pushes it up. Flight is a continuous physical fight between four opposing forces: lift, weight, thrust, and drag. Understanding how these specific forces interact is the first step in learning every aviation maneuver, from simple climbs to complex stalls. Every maneuver relies on a pilot's ability to manipulate these physical loads as the aircraft moves through the air. These are the primary vectors acting on a plane in flight. Lift acts upward, weight acts downward, thrust acts forward, and drag acts backward. This exact balance dictates what the aircraft does in the air, whether it climbs, descends, accelerates, or slows down. We start with weight. This is the absolute downward force of gravity acting on the mass of the aircraft, its fuel, and its cargo. Opposing gravity is lift. While many believe it is caused solely by fast-moving air over the wing, the physics involve two distinct aerodynamic principles. This cross-section of a wing shows the first principle. As air flows around the aerofoil, the pressure above the wing drops lower than the pressure below, creating an upward force. At the same time, the wing deflects air downward. According to Newton's third law, pushing that air down forces the wing up. Lift requires both that pressure difference and this downwash. The heavier an aircraft is loaded, the more aggressively it must manipulate airflow to generate the vertical force required to stay aloft. To push the wings through the air, engines produce thrust by accelerating mass, like air and exhaust gases, backward. Every bit of that forward motion is met with drag, the atmospheric resistance pushing backward against the airframe. This graph illustrates how that resistance changes. The upward curve represents parasite drag, which is caused by the physical shape of the aircraft and skin friction. As the aircraft flies faster, parasite drag increases. The second curve is induced drag. This is the aerodynamic cost of creating lift, caused by wingtip vortices and downwash. Unlike parasite drag, induced drag is highest at low speeds. Effective throttle management relies on balancing these two different types of friction as speed changes. When lift matches weight and thrust matches drag, the aircraft is in straight and level, unaccelerated flight. For aviation exams, remember that equilibrium does not mean the forces have disappeared. It means the forces of lift, weight, thrust, and drag are perfectly balanced against one another. To climb, the aircraft needs excess thrust to overpower drag and pull the frame vertically against gravity. In a descent, gravity assists the forward path, which allows the pilot to reduce engine thrust. In this rear view of a turn, we see how banking tilts the lift vector. Part of the lift now pulls the aircraft horizontally, which reduces the vertical force holding the plane up. Because turning compromises vertical lift, pilots must compensate by increasing the angle of attack or adding speed to avoid losing altitude. Angle of attack is the angle between a wing's chord line and incoming relative airflow. As this angle increases, lift increases, but only to a point. If the angle becomes too steep, the airflow detaches from the wing and lift disappears. This is a stall. This is a vital safety point. Stalls occur when the critical angle of attack is exceeded. Airspeed is a factor, but the specific geometry of the wing against the air is what actually breaks the airflow. Managing flight involves tracking the wing's relationship with the airflow as closely as the numbers on the airspeed indicator. To summarize, lift requires both pressure differences and downwash, drag changes based on speed, and level flight is a high-tension physical balance. Use this ringwork for your studies. 4 forces in a constant tug-of-war, 2 sources of lift, and 2 categories of drag. This foundation is the key to all advanced flight principles. To see a deep dive on stalls or the drag curve next, let me know in the comments and subscribe to Captain Aero.